Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton is behind the camera now. As I said to you yesterday, every good show... How long have we been doing the Court of Public Opinion in the garage, Pete?
Look, I reckon it's 2 years.
I think it's longer than 2 years.
Yeah,
because when did I get the sack from AA? I can't remember. Was it 3 years ago?
I can't remember that either, but it's a long while ago.
Must have been 3 years ago.
So,
anyway,
it was not long after that we started.
We are following the old show business tradition of a cliffhanger. Now, it's not me hanging off the cliff, it is in fact Pete. Pete, we're recording this and we're driving Pete into the hospital tomorrow. Pete, do you want to tell people? People will be interested to know. You have a completely 90% blocked artery.
Yes, 90% blocked, yes.
90% blocked, and you have trouble walking, you have trouble moving around, you're not...
Very, very tired, yes.
Tired, yes, yes. Well, you know, the thing is you have to get something done about it as quickly as possible, and that is exactly what Pete is doing. Today is Thursday, so as you watch this, on Wednesday, we took Pete in. If I got all of that right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll keep you updated on Friday, but you know, like the soap operas always leave you with a cliffhanger. It's one of those show business traditions. Now, I have no doubt that Pete is going to be back next year, but this will be the last of our Facebook postings for this year because I'm taking a break and Pete is taking a break. I don't exactly know because we haven't discussed exactly when we will come back in January. What do you reckon, Pete?
Oh, I think the first Monday in January would be good, whatever that is.
All right, well, the first Monday in January.
Yeah.
The Court of Public Opinion from the garage will be back, and I think we'll wrap up the jeremycordeaux.com from the dining room table. There's a bit of discussion as to whether we wrap it up this Friday or the following Friday. But it's that time of the year when programs go into hiatus. Unlike those programs on paid television or free-to-air television, we actually have a say in whether we come back or we don't. There is nothing like controlling your own destiny. This book that Harry and Meghan wrote, well, I don't actually know if they wrote it, but there was some suggestion by the author of that book that the royal family was speculating about whether or not Meghan's baby would be dark or white. And this was actually a controversy which I can't begin to get my mind around. I mean, that is so absolutely stupid. I'll tell you why. My eldest son, Christian, has lived in America for, many years. He has married a beautiful black American lady. I'd show you some pictures, but I don't think I can. If I was more tech savvy, I'd probably be able to do it. But the family here, and indeed the family in America, were speculating when they had a beautiful little baby, little daughter, whether she would be black, dark, or white. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. Parents, and indeed King Charles and Camilla and the whole family, would be quite understandably curious as to whether or not the baby would be dark or fair. Now, this is only a problem if you or me or King Charles have a problem with black. I don't think King Charles does. I know I don't. So why would it matter? But it is interesting. Is the child going to be dark or is the child going to be fair? What's it matter?
Is the child going to have blue eyes or brown eyes?
Well, yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a topic of conversation within a family. Yeah. And this bloody guy who wrote the book, I don't even know whether it was his fault or it was the publicists or whoever it was. But the truth of the matter is, speculation within a family about a multiracial marriage is only to be expected and welcomed. It is not condemnation. It's not racist. It's observant. Means nothing. But I want to see journalists and commentators and people speaking like this. But you won't. You won't. You won't hear that. Because everyone is in his little foxhole, sadly. This is what I always had against The Voice. It was racist. It was judging people by the colour of their skin. I don't want people to get either a deficit or an advantage because of the colour of skin. Everyone must be treated on merit. That is the only way to run a country. Labor has got to get hold of that and understand it. But of course, they won't. They won't. I was very, very happy to see that the 125-year-old Drizabone company has been bought by Gina Rinehart. Now, gee, I don't know much about Gina apart from the fact that she's very wealthy, but I did really like her father, and we used to talk quite often. He had a great vision for Australia, up and down the country. And I get the feeling that people like Twiggy Forrest and Gina Rinehart have the same sort of passion for Australia. I'm heartened by that. I have a Drizabone. Pete, have you got a Drizabone?
Not yet, but it's on the wish list.
Yeah, they are very practical. You know, they used to make a Drizabone, I'm told, for World War I, and it was very tricky because it had to be sort of a bit like a cape, because while it kept you, you could imagine what it'd be like in the trenches with the water up to your knees. It kept you dry from the rain, but you could still hold and sight your rifle easily. So it wasn't like an overcoat, it wasn't like a greatcoat. It was a very clever design. Don't know if anybody knows about that or copied it or anything else. Europe, by the way, is in a deep freeze. It's amazing, isn't it? But still these idiots tell us that this is the hottest year ever. Ever. Good God. I'd love to read you this. I think I brought it down. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. Glasses are coming, by the way. By next year I'll be all right. Private jets headed to global warming conference literally frozen on the runway. I love it. While world leaders spoke at a global warming conference in Dubai, located in the heart of the Arabian desert, discussing the usual, banning gas stoves, cow farts, petrol-powered vehicles, a powerful snowstorm grounded all the flights at Munich airport in Germany. Private jets in Munich on the runway to Dubai's global warming conference are literally frozen on the runway, which has turned into a glacier, said Ryan Moe, meteorologist and former NOAA chief scientist. If world leaders actually believed in global warming, they would not have flown private jets to the desert. Furthermore, having a global warming conference in an area where it snows is just bad optics for these virtue. I think that probably should be where it never snows. Anyway, is bad optics for these virtue signalling elites. Couldn't agree more. The truth will out. Sooner or later, it will. The truth about Gaza, I see more and more of this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I see more and next time we talk in the new year, I hope there is some resolution to all this pain and suffering. I, like you, do not like to see innocent men, women and children suffering because of the misdeeds of zealots, terrorists. But the real truth about Gaza is that 80% of the people who are now suffering because of Hamas voted for, well, it's not a democracy, but 80% of the people in Gaza support Hamas. Whereas I said some weeks ago on this very program, they should be turning their backs on them, or better still, turning them in. Because Hamas has the people of Gaza as part of their arsenal. And I sympathize with the Israelis, because what are they to do? Just like the teachers in this country and various other interest groups weaponize our children, Hamas has weaponized the women and children, particularly, of Gaza. They're human shields. They are used as part of their arsenal to defeat Israel. There needs to be a cleaning out of Hamas. By the time I get back in the new year and start talking to you about all of this again, God knows where this controversy will be. I hope it will be in a much better place. But you've got to sympathize with people who cannot live, as the Israelis have been doing, under the gun or their great big dome that protects them from missiles that come in. That's no way to live. They shouldn't have to do that. It should be live and let live. There's no reason why Hamas can't, with the people of Gaza, just live in the Gaza Strip and just enjoy life or get on with life, you'd find it so much easier than confronting all of this pain and suffering. Violence begets violence. Shane Warne's kids have started the Shane Warne Foundation. A charity. Good. No? It's going to raise money in their father's memory to fight heart disease. Pete, you'd be for that?
Oh, yes.
I think we'd all be for that. Well, that's what the kids are saying. I don't know, but good luck with it. You join 60,000 registered charities, believe it or not, in Australia. But until there is a law that demands transparency and responsibility, I remain sceptical about charities. It's a $200 billion business. And I emphasize here that no one is breaking the law. According to existing law, a charity does not have to give 1 cent to the cause for which the money is being collected. Now, you might find that hard to believe. When I first read that, I found that very hard to believe. But it is true. Why would there be a law that said something like that? You know, you're setting up something that could be abused. The best way to protect the good name of good charities, and there are good charities, the best way is transparency. Honesty, if you like. This charity gives X percent of every dollar collected to the cause. You say it, you mean it. I remember when I was the chairman of the Variety Club here in Adelaide. I was the inaugural chairman of the Variety Club, and I was recruited by David Frost in Sydney, because he was in London, he was a great believer and promoter of the Variety Club. He came to Australia and set up various branches and chapters, and he was very, very emphatic about the philosophy that everything went to the cause. I think overheads or administration was 3 cents in the dollar, something like that. But that's okay, because everyone was a volunteer. It was no problem. We had no problem. And in fact, we were very proud, because every time we did something for the Variety Club back in the day, we pointed that out. And I'm sure it must have given people comfort and confidence. At the moment, administration, research, training, travel, promotions, public relations, entertainment, cars, can take up to 100 cents in every dollar donated. Now, this should not continue. It should not be allowed. But why no one in government, state or federal, Liberal or Labor, will do anything or say anything? I don't know. I got no idea. It's very strange. I'll tell you, the strongest charity brand. Pete, what do you think is the strongest charity brand in Australia?
Well, I did get a bit of advance warning on this.
Oh, I did. We were talking about it.
RSPCA, yes.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Because Pete's a great animal lover. The strongest charity brand in Australia is the RSPCA. Now, you would have seen the advertisements for the RSPCA pet insurance. If there are rules that govern the registration of these sort of financial arrangements, I don't know about it. But we all should know about it. What they say, basically, if I can paraphrase them, part of your first year's premium is given to the RSPCA. Okay. Well, which part? Is it $5? $10? $1? 50 cents? $100? I don't know. Tell us. Just tell us. But apparently there is no law that says they have to. There should be. It would work better for everyone if we knew. I think that's absolutely true. I'm running out of time, aren't I, Pete?
Yes.
Yes. Now, it is the 7th of December. Yes, as the United States President said on this day, he designated it as the Day of Infamy. Delano Roosevelt, December 7. 360 Japanese planes attacked the U.S. Pacific Fleet, anchored at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii at 7:55 a.m. As the bombs dropped, 1,177 men died on the USS Arizona, settling to the bottom of the harbor in 38 feet of water on this day in 1941, where it remains today as a memorial to those brave men. I say men because I don't think in those days there were women on warships. Yeah, 1941. Interestingly, of course, a few weeks later, the same Japanese admiral, Admiral Yamamoto, was responsible. He designed the whole attack on Pearl Harbor. But he was also responsible for the attack on Darwin, where they dropped more bombs than they did on Pearl Harbor. It surprises a lot of people to know that. December 7. Victor Khayyam was born in Louisiana in 1926. I talked to him, Victor Khayyam. He always wore a red tie, and he wrote a few books about success, how to be successful. And he was the man, I think, Pete, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think he bought the Remington shaver company because he liked the company. He liked the product so much he bought the company.
That's right.
I don't know that that's the correct way to go about it, but it worked for him, I'm quite sure. What else can I tell you? China abolished compulsory wearing of pigtails in 1911. Oh, golly. Bent Fabric was born. He was born in Denmark. Novelty instrumental hit, which was called Alley Cat in 1962. Do you remember that? Alley Cat? I remember Alley Cat. 1961, on this day, a burly Gothic bra with contouring was 33 shillings and sixpence. Without the contouring, it was 27 shillings and sixpence. What was the contouring do, I wonder? It was worth a few.
Maybe it enhances the shape, I don't know.
Contouring. Well, look, hell, we all need a little contouring.
Oh, I need it now.
God help us. The burly why would you call a bra Gothic? I don't really know much about bras, but there you go. The burly Gothic bra, 1961. Gee, that was a bit before the time when they started burning these things. That became quite fashionable. Jack Mercer died. He was 74. In hospital, New York City. Second longest serving voice of Popeye, the Sailor Man. 1984. Eli Wallach, Yeah, what a great actor. US movie star, born in Brooklyn, New York, on this day in 1915. Eli Wallach. I remember the last time I saw him was only the other night when I had a look at The Magnificent Seven. Great actor, wonderful actor. He played the part of the Spanish bad guy, the hombre. Yeah. The 1000th Test match in history, the history of cricket, started at Adelaide Oval. You'd like that, Pete? 1984. Charlie Pride at the Festival Theatre in 1983. Charlie Pride was good. I liked him. Captain Bligh died, master of the bounty. Edmondo Ross, famous for his rumba music. He was born this day in 1910. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I will take this opportunity for our Facebook viewers and our listeners to the podcast, which Andy Martin very kindly and wonderfully puts together every week out of our Facebook postings. To all of you, thank you for your support. Thank you for all those wonderful messages that you send. They're always interesting. They have an input. They add something to everything we talk about and everything we think about. I'm very grateful. Pardon me. I will get rid of this by the time I talk to you again, but I don't think the Friday program's in jeopardy. But anyway, look, I'll be there Friday, 9 o'clock. JeremyCordeau.com at the dining room table, live streaming the Court of Public Opinion. Pete, do you want to say?
Well, I think we should wish people a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely, we should wish people a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year.
Yeah, we'll look forward to catching up in the New Year. Yeah,
we will be back, ladies and gentlemen, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'll have my reading glasses. Pete will have a new heart.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Is it a new valve, or what are they going to do? They're going to put a
I would
stint
think they put
in.
a stent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between a stint and a stent? Oh, don't worry.
Well, I don't know. A stint is a stint in office, I think, isn't it? And a stent is something...
A stent is something, yeah. Well, anyway, look, we have the best doctors in the world in this country, and many of them are right here in South Australia, taking care of all of us, and God bless you. God bless everyone. Happy Christmas. Have a happy and holy Christmas, and a safe Christmas. Be very careful when you're driving, and we'll look forward to seeing you early in January with the Court of Public Opinion from the garage. Bless you.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.